American Sniper is a wartime epic directed by Clint Eastwood starring Bradley Cooper and Sienna Miller as it tells the true story of Chris Kyle, the deadliest sniper in American history. Now, for those of you who don't know, this movie is based off the book American Sniper written by Chris Kyle, which is essentially an autobiography of his own life and his experiences fighting in the Middle East after 9/11. Now, before we get started, I just want to say that giving this guy, Chris Kyle, the title of deadliest sniper in US history isn't just a marketing tactic for people to come see the deadliest sniper in US history. No. Giving him that title is a complete understatement. This guy killed over 160 people and logged in over 1,000 days overseas. Now, you might not understand the significance of going there for 1,000 days. One tour might consist of, correct me if I'm wrong, 8 to 10 months time, which is about 250 days. This guy went for 4 tours. I mean, he was driven to protect his country, and he was a true American hero. Now, these are one of the movies that I have trouble talking about simply because there's no plot-related things to talk about. Mainly because this happened, so for me to say that doesn't make sense, the thing happened, and unless I'm being lied to and none of this actually happened, everything happened and everything lined up, and that's really all I can say about the plot of the movie. Now, the way the story and movie are told is it starts in the middle while he's overseas doing his job, and just like the trailer, pretty much if you saw the trailer, you saw the first scene of the movie, he has to decide whether to kill this kid with a large grenade. He doesn't know if he's going to run and kill the soldiers he's protecting, or if the kid's simply going to put it down, get scared, run away. And you can tell the intensity of that scene is just amazing. Just that trailer alone, that's the entire first scene. But then right when he's either going to pull the trigger or not going to pull the trigger, it cuts, goes back about 30 years, and then starts from the beginning of his life, and you learn how he learned how to shoot, and then you learn a little more story about the character itself. Now, I liked the way it was told. I thought it was very clever. I thought it tied in very well, and eventually it does get back to present day, which is all good. I like this movie a lot, and I like these kind of movies, much like Fury, that focus on what war really is. It's not this, we're going to get medals for going overseas and doing our job and just come back to our loving family. No. War takes a toll on people. You think that it's simple going over there and killing the bad guys, as they would say in movies. No, these are people fighting for their own cause just like we're fighting for ours. You can tell that with every shot he takes, he slowly starts to lose his mind and his humanity because he is taking the lives of people he doesn't even know are innocent or guilty. He just sees a guy with a gun or a grenade or an RPG, and in his job, he has to kill him. It might bring the threat that that guy is going to hurt the people he has to protect, and he simply isn't willing to take that risk. And then because of this, as many soldiers do, he slips into the state of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which comes from soldiers experiences things they shouldn't see, no man should ever see, and they do things that no man should ever have to do, but unfortunately have to do because this world is just that way. I thought Bradley Cooper did a great job at this because not only did he have to go through a body transformation, getting bigger, not even that muscular, just a bigger set guy, he spoke with a great Southern Texas accent, and he played the part of a guy that was simply just losing his mind and slowly, so slowly, but ever so heavily slipping, in effect, into a state of insanity. I mean, this guy was just losing it. He couldn't. There were scenes where he would just look at a blank TV and you would hear gunshots going off. You think he's watching something, but no, he's just zoning straight into the television and just out. I mean, he is not even there. I thought Sienna Miller did a great job portraying a woman who had to live through her husband going overseas for over 1,000 days for 4 tours in a time where we didn't know much about where they were going, who they were fighting, and it was just a dangerous time. And you have to understand, every time he came back, she's like, stay with me. And he's like, no, I have to go save these people. And then at a point, which is a very crucial point in this movie, and you'll see it, I'm not going to spoil anything, of course, but she asks, do you want to die? And this is weighed very heavily because, in a way, it seems as though this is true because he is continuously going overseas. And as the audience, you can't help but wonder, when will this be enough? When will you finally feel that you have done your duty and just come home to your loving family. At this point, he does have 2 kids. That's not really a spoiler, just he has 2 kids. He has a family. He has a wife to come home to, but yet he keeps going over because he feels that he still has to protect the country and the people that he cares about. I thought their chemistry was great. I'm just gonna say it. I felt a legitimate connection. I felt bad for her. I felt for him. I felt that they portrayed these 2 characters very accurately. I thought the action sequences were great. I thought the set design was great. I thought everything in this movie aesthetically was great. Now, I was watching this movie and I was thinking, man, I like this movie a lot. And I like this movie so much, and I was going to give it a high rating on my scale. But then the last scene happened. And for those of you who don't know the story of this guy, I'm not going to tell you, and I advise you actually do not read the story of what happened, because if you go into the story not knowing what happened, the ending scene, the last scene, will be so powerful. And when I say so powerful, I have never experienced an ending like I did in this movie for a very long time. As I was saying before, I liked this movie a lot up until this last point where I was like, this movie, I love this movie. This movie is so good and so powerful. Not that the movie is the greatest thing I've ever seen, but the effect it had on me, I think, is what put it over the top for me, simply because I've never experienced something with this magnitude as I experienced at the end of this movie. Now I'm happy this is the first review I'm ever doing, because this one was easy. This movie was so good. I definitely recommend, if you're into wartime movies, action movies, movies with compelling emotions, definitely go see this movie. And if you have strict political views against this movie and you're just going to hate on it anyway, I recommend not seeing it and not wasting your money and everybody else's time. I'm going to give this movie a casual rating of a 9.5 to a 10. Yes, I know, it sounds a bit too good to be true that my first review I ever do has such a great score. And yes, I know I say I very rarely give 10s, and that's why I have to kind of scoot it back, giving it also a 9.5 to a 10. But if you are a casual viewer and you like all the things I talked about, there is no way you can't like this movie. Now, the critic in me has to give it a lower score for my critic review, simply because there, I think, was a little too much action in the movie, and there is a deeper emotional thing that I think could have been expanded on a bit. My score of an 8 to an 8.5, I feel accurately fits how I view this movie. I mean, the movie's still an 8 to an 8.5, so definitely go see it if you're into these kind of movies. I think it's a great experience. I think it's a great story, and I think you will feel different about the world after you see this movie. What did you think about American Sniper? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you like and what didn't you like? If you like what you saw in this video today, don't forget to smack that like button. If you want to see more from this channel, hit that subscribe button, and do anything you can to make this channel seem better than it actually is. Follow me on Twitter at Albino Films, Instagram Albino Films, and for any personal questions you might have for me, contact me at albinofilms365@gmail.com. This has been an approved message from the region Albino. See you next time.